Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we have Class from CL No Surge. I also don't know if CL No Surge is part of the song. Apparently this is the last song in CL No Surge. I know the title. I've never seen the game played, but I have seen the title float around on the internet before, and I was informed that there are two constructed languages that appear in this song. I'm not going to try making heads or tails of them, but I was informed by the person who requested it, Renshin, and my executive producers, that this is a thing, so I won't be completely lost, at least when those start showing up, and I won't be like, what language is that? So I guess that's all I really have for context going into this one, but I'm gonna listen to it and see what it has, and without further ado, let's go! Everything was done by Akiko Shikata. Okay. Yeah, it is Class CL No Surge. Okay. Seems pretty normal so far. Oh, okay. And now I see what Renshin was talking about with the Conlang stuff. And the layering too. Ooh. Ah. They did tell me that one of them was like code based, so I'm not surprised by that, but it does read very strangely. Ooh. God. God, her voice is like giving me chills, dude. She's got such control over that vibrato, it's kind of scary. Ooh. Nice dissonance there. Let's see if they do that again. Ooh. Not really. Not the same type, at least. Oh. Dude. The composition of the vocal lines is insane. Like, they're really, I've talked about this a few times before, but just like how much like an instrument they're treating the voice. I respect that a lot every time I hear it. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a shift in the energy. More of the weird conlangs. That's nuts. I'm trying to figure out how they're like actually singing that. I think they're just like singing phonetics in that like code-based language. Oh man, this is really cool. I'm more enamored with the complexity of the layering here. Woo! Nice slide. I can't help like look away. Like, I don't want to. I'm enraptured by this. Having the numbers there have significance, like, that's so neat. Like, this is big brain music shit. And it all ends with the one. Ah, come on. Dude, like, that's so insane. How many things were going on in that? Not even just the conlang stuff, but just the way that the lyrics were structuring themselves to come back to that final message there. Like, I'm so hyped about this one. So like I mentioned in the intro, I am aware of this being a game, and I'm aware of the Akiko universe. I haven't partaken in that universe, but I have heard a few songs from this universe, and even really without thinking about it, I could immediately assume that this sound is from that universe. It's just so characteristic of it. So even if I didn't know through the CL No Surge thing that this was part of that world, I would have easily noticed just based off the sound. It is so iconic to this game franchise for me. I haven't heard anything like it anywhere else, and I think that's an amazing thing to have, is a pure, very hard-lined identity on the music that you can just apply to a game world right off the bat. Does not need any more detail. You can just tell that this is the Akiko world, and that's so cool to me. But what's always also been so cool to me about this universe is how in-depth they are with getting that world building, just fitting all of that information, just compressing it into the coolest sound possible, but also compressing all that into just 5 minutes. Like, that's insane how much world building they had fit in the lyrics of this song in just 5 minutes. Like, there's so much. It's basically an overview of everything that would have happened. I don't know exactly what that is because I haven't partaken in any of these games, but I could get the gist of what happened and this lore it's trying to feed you, because it's like, oh, you're following the story a little bit. It's answering little questions. It's sometimes leaving more questions than answers it gives, which is also good because it makes you want to explore that world. So that's a good idea. But just in general, the identity of this music is so beautiful, and fitting like 3 different languages into this is nuts. Just trying to again, more compressing all of that information, and that's more information in and of itself. Having all those languages be a part of it goes, oh, okay, so there's multiple languages in this world, and I need to be aware of that because that's a world building feature. Even if you can't read them or understand what the hell's happening in them, the fact that they're present at all just showcases that little detail, and that's so cool. And of course, like I said, just showcasing the lore of this world and fitting all of it into this overarching story, and coming back to that final conclusion with that one final line, and just making sense of that tale and really stripping it down to what you should know about this world and this universe is really neat. Just fitting that lore into this song, and I cannot get over the composition. Every single time I hear something out of this game's franchise, they are so good at keeping that identity intact, and I can't get over it, which kind of sucks too, because like, as much as I would love to, I can't really talk about the historical parallels or the relevance that any of the factors of this musical composition may have. And that's almost purely because it does such a good job at kit bashing a bunch of different cultures and identities from around the world into its own thing, that I could pick little bits and pieces of where some of these influences might be borrowed from. Maybe, like, that's the biggest thing, is the maybe, because it is so much of its own thing at this point that I wouldn't be able to tell you in full confidence where any of these sounds came from. A lot of more traditional music, and especially a lot of stuff from that wasn't like written down like in the native days of basically every country, all of that like super historically relevant sound that was just word of mouth that we really don't have a real proof of. We just have to assume based on archaeological evidence. That's kind of what this sounds like. Something that was kit bashed from all of that information and utilizing a bunch of it, and it's probably utilizing covering multiple different countries and their relevance as well. So it's almost impossible to try and guess any of that without the person who wrote this and kitbashed it themselves coming forward and saying so, which I'm sure they probably have talked about before, but I am unaware of all that. So I can't tell you in full confidence and get into that detail because of how good they are. And that in and of itself is a really high praise for me. The fact that I can't talk about it because they're so good at doing what they do is right up there in the highest praise that I could offer. The fact that they're so good that I cannot define to you or explain to you in confidence where that came from historically. And that's just really neat. The fact that they did that so well. And this is probably the best example of it I've heard out of this universe. There have been a lot of good songs I've heard from this universe so far, but this song is just so purposeful about it. It's got such a strong purpose, and I think a lot of that stems from it being this like overarching tale, something that you would probably hear being shared between cultures back in the day. Again, word of mouth. Like, that's the flavor this song has. Something that we can't be sure happened, but we do have trace proof of, and we just have to extrapolate data from that. The fact that it sounds so authentic is just the coolest fucking thing. But I've been yapping enough on this one, so I will end it here. Thank you all so very much for watching, and of course, thank you, Wrenchin, for putting this into the queue. If you have any other songs you want me to get to, by all means, drop in the comments below, or if, like Wrenchin did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, where you can guarantee that I listen to something. There's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever it is. It doesn't matter who it's by, what it's from, or if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But if you don't want to do any of that, and maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!